So my project is about data analysis, and my name is Julianne Joseph. And just kind of to start off the presentation with an interesting fact, did you know that more than 5 billion people are calling, texting, tweeting, and browsing on mobile phones worldwide right now? Which is kind of just like a really interesting fact, especially with everything, with all the technology that has evolved in the years. And a very, very interesting fact because I'm sure that every single person in our class, has a mobile device, whether they are tweeting or Instagramming or using social media. Um, Really interesting to see how, evolved technology has become. So the thesis for this presentation is data analysis is constantly improving to better conclude and draw information. So to just kind of go with like an overview of what the presentation is going to look like, I'm going to first start talking about what actually is data analysis, and I'll kind of go into what data mining is as well. And then I'm going to be talking about the different phases of data analysis, so kind of like where you start and then where you end with. What the importance of data analysis is to us as constant users today. And then I'm going to be also talking about pros and cons of data analysis, as well as just kind of an overview and conclusion of it. So to begin, what really is data analysis? So pretty much it analyzes pieces of data to evaluate the data and figure out the significance of it. So like I said before, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about data mining, which is kind of a part of data analysis. So what data mining is it's access and examining large databases in order to come up with broader and new information. So kind of just think of it, especially as, undergraduate students here at SLU, when you're just starting like a research project for a class, and the teacher says, pick anything, you kind of are given like a very, very wide pool of ideas, and put, things that you could research. So kind of think of that as data mining, where you go through a large database and then you continue to kind of like narrow it down, which is kind of what the first picture is indicating here. So to talk a little bit about the phases of data analysis, the first one being data requirements. And so pretty much what data requirements is the data that is necessary based upon the requirements of those that are directing the analysis or customers who will use the finished product of the analysis. The next phase that we have here is data collection, and kind of self-explanatory. There's obviously a large variety of sources that data can be collected from. And data can be collected in so many different ways, and things are always, evolving on how we can collect data. But some examples include, sensors in the environment, such, those, in traffic cameras or even like recording devices. The third phase of data analysis is data processing. So data processing is pretty much once you have all that collected information, you still have to process all that the data that you just collected. It needs to be processed or organized for analysis to actually, have a meaning to it. An example of this is putting data in rows and columns for better organization. So, just think of it like, when you're in elementary school and you did, your science projects or, had, your experiments. Once you got your data, that wasn't the end of it. That wasn't just collecting the data and that was it. You had to, process it, to organize it, to kind of, get something out of it. The fourth phase of data analysis is data cleaning. And once it's done being like processed, the data still may have some things that need to be done. These things that still need to be done are caused by problems that may have happened during the process of how the data was entered or stored. So there's always going to be human error. So there's that, cleaning that needs to be done. It's important to know that the process of data cleaning is to prevent and correct these errors from happening. But some common examples of data cleaning are record matching and deduplication. The fifth phase of data analysis is exploratory data analysis. So once the data has been officially cleaned, it can be analyzed. And at this point, analysts will just explore the data to understand what type of messages are part of the data, And that being said, there's really a high chance of additional data cleaning and additional tasks for the data to be done. The sixth phase is modeling and algorithms. So algorithms are mathematical formulas, and this connects to the data because it can identify relationships among variables. The seventh phase of data analysis is data products. So pretty much is the computer application. The data within the computer application takes inputs and generates outputs, which then eventually get out to the environment. And the last phase of data analysis is communication, being able to kind of share this information with one another. So the importance of data analysis, it creates better business moves. It's really efficient operational wise. It creates higher profits and happier customers. For any business, their kind of main goal is to satisfy their customers as well as make profit. So data analysis does both of those factors. So an example of an everyday of data analysis, there was a statistic that I found about the Houston Rockets. And so the Houston Rockets don't usually shoot long-range jump shots. They say that the shots are too far away from the rim for them to even get the point. And this is obviously backed up by data. So analytics is where data analysis is coming through in real world examples. So some pros for data analysis, they're quickly to recognize errors, there's savings, like I said, and there's progressive services that come with data analysis. And so why is cost reduction so important? With technology that's widely used in today's world, it's going to be, because everyone's using it, the cost reduction helps everyone. There's also a need to accommodate the majority of the public. So not everyone, is going to be, those filthy rich Bill Gates people. So just trying to accommodate everyone. Some pros for data analysis is real-time fraud detection, strategies towards competition, insight, and trends. Some cons include not compatible with everything. There's still a new approach that needs to be required in order to make this successful, and there's still possible failure. So the future of data analysis is the internet of databases with variable and data set ontologies and the visualization and modeling environments. It also has reliable systematic data and reliable statistics. And just kind of a review, analyzing data to come up with more efficient strategies is what really data analysis is about. It creates better savings and less amount of errors and possible failure for the future.